Hi Earthlings, how are we going? Right. First of all, I have some happy news. That is, yay, I'm healed. So, I went through an incredible process. It was extremely debilitating to my energy, but once again, I got through it. I survived. Here I am, and I'm hoping that everyone else is finding the ability to be able to get through what is depleting and debilitating them. So I notice a lot of men are real struggling right now. Some of them are feeling that even though they're in a relationship or have a family, that they're very lonely. Look, honestly, it sounds like some women are being literally horrible and mean, according to some people, according to some men. So, a man I was listening to on YouTube, his wife doesn't speak to him real nicely and stuff, and that's very debilitated, isn't it? Debilitating. Doesn't matter what he tries to do and how he approaches and things like this. She is just, fairly to say, a bitch. Okay, so we're in this phase, and there's like two literally different types of people, and we're really starting to see which one is which. And even though everybody gets angry, and we might say an angry sentence or express anger, I want you to know that your anger is not the same as people's malicious nastiness and spite. So I'm quite shocked, but on the other side of that, it's where we're at as a humanity. This is what the divide is all about. The Great Awakening is that we've got two kinds of people. We've got a kind of person who is literally just going to make your life a living misery. And you've got another kind of person that actually tries to love them more and therefore become really hurt. And so I want everyone to step out of that. Meanwhile, I just want to talk, we're coming up to new moon in Cancer, and our new moon in Cancer is going to be very nicely at the opposite axis of our up and coming new Capricorn moon. So instead of us being on a disjointed kind of a dog leg new moon to full moon, we're now back on a straight line. It's been a while now, ever since this shadow eclipse that we had. I am going to do a brief talk because we're coming up to full moon, so that new moon, which is concentrate, and I would like to say that I went through literally every single thing that you could ask for, and near the last stage of my ascension, everyone's calling it ascension, symptoms. I had this thickness, like a thick cushioning each side of my temples. And I forgot to tell everybody, but I thought this is when it began way back. It started here, and I thought it was like, felt like mumps. And I couldn't, do that with my tongue proper. So it started like this, and there was like this thing that went through my arm. I don't know, there's a lot. But anyway, let's just say I went right through it, and of course the tears and stuff like that, and I've come out the other side. I had an asthma attack and tried to take me out, but didn't get to do it this time around because I have inhalers on me all the time now. So balsamic, Now, I'm going to talk about AI. So, I, for one, am quite excited about having my own AI robot. Someone it's going to be my protector. It's going to be my helper. I'm not looking at a robot to do the dishes for me. I'm literally looking for a guardian and a protector, someone that keeps me safe, somebody that also helps and aids me if I was ever in any form of detriment, and that's what I want one for. So, yeah. Now, back in 2011, I think it was, 2010, 11, I did an art diploma, and one of the art things is called futurism. And so anyway, my study, I was called the monkey of the class because I didn't even know how to use the computer. I had to learn so much. So, and to use the computer, I just wrote it down, and then every time I went back to do it, I just had to open up my little computer notebook to follow that formula so I could do because everything had to be handed in by computer. Crazy. But never mind, I managed, and c'est la vie. I sort of became I have my own relationship with the computer. So anyway, I just want to talk about this futurism. So futurism, what happened was we had to come up with what we thought the future was going to be. And in my story of the future, it was sort of like a prison, and everyone was monitored all the time, and that's how I envisioned it. And that was why it was like a prison. But on the other side of that, people weren't bad because they didn't want to be bad, because the computer could read your mind. But what did we do? So in my story, I imagined that I was my great 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 grandchild living in this future, and if I wanted to know about my great 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 grandmother being me, I pricked my blood, because all my family is in my DNA, and I was able to, in the future, be able to go through my own genetic tree, my bloodline, and look into my families. Everyone that that I am a descendant of, and since the time of CCTV and all that sort of thing like that. So in this story that I wrote, what happened was the future me, or the future descendant of me, wrote the story. Tapped into my life story through the blood, and was able to watch the CCTV footage of me walking up the street, was able to get into my phone calls and listen to my voice, hear what I was talking about, look at what was going on, anything that I put onto the computer or off the phone or on any sort of device. Future me was able to pull that information up and kind of watch it like TV. So in my story, nobody watched soap operas or Coronation Street or anything like that. They went back in time to watch their ancestor, listen to their ancestor's voice, and get to know their ancestors in that way. And that was how I viewed. Now, a few things are going on right now, and one thing was I'm listening to these remote viewers, because they're putting out 30-minute things now instead of a 10-minute glimpse, and you used to have to pay for it if you wanted to know more about it, but now they're sort of pumping out some information. And I found that remote viewing and psychics are probably exactly the same thing, so that is very, very interesting. Sort of might as well call them the same thing. Okay, so a psychic, true psychic, and a remote viewer is exactly the same thing, just a different name for the same thing. So yeah, can't wait to have an AI companion. I personally like the first Atlas HD, who they've kind of like retired. I think he's ace of base, and I'd love to have him for my companion. And also, I was just discussing, and I get all these ideas, but I had this idea that I take my phone when I get my computer, my robot companion. I take my phone and I insert the phone, like slot it into my AI, and then the AI has all the information that it can get. I can download all my phones into there if I want, and that gives my companion just this other stuff about me. Excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. So anyway, my reality has been really weird lately. Oh yeah, I wanted my AI companion to understand my thoughts and guide me. I'd like to have I just don't want a generic kind of a thing. I want to be able to really pull through my own thoughts and have the AI translate and offer me, like, Google this, or let me put you onto this site, or just different things like that to lead me. And so reality is really weird at the moment. So I was in bed, I was holding my phone, I was listening to a podcast, and I was just scrolling along. I looked at the time, it was 7:49, and then within, like, it was just like 1 minute, it seemed like, and like as I always seem to scroll, I have ADHD, so I'm scrolling. It seemed to be a matter of just mere minutes. I looked at the time, it was 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, whoa. I jumped 2 hours with it feeling like a minute or 2 minutes. I've never had that before. It's my first time ever. So I was like, I'm still like mind blown about that one. And secondly, there was this weird sound, and like I was sitting and I was looking directly at the door, which was shut and locked this morning, but it made the sound as if someone was opening it. That's why I looked at the door. I was like, what? And it hadn't even moved. But the sound of it opening occurred in my reality. I'll just describe the sound by showing you the sound. I hope you can hear that on the computer. Hopefully you can. I'll just... Oh, it's real quiet. That first little part is usually like a scrape. It goes whatever. But yes, it didn't do it, and I was like, wow. So anyway, I feel like I'm in between two realities right now. Another thing that happened, this was today, was a car wasn't there. It was parked. No, first of all, it was like this parking space, there was like one car. And I drove by. I walked into the service station. I was there. Can't remember what I did. I got a coffee or something. Oh no, I'm telling the wrong story. I drove directly past and around the roundabout. So there was one car there, and as I came around the roundabout, there was two more cars there, so 3 cars were there, and I was like, huh. And I'd forgot something, so I did a thing, and I went to the service station. When I got to the service station, there's only one car there, and I was like, what's going on here? So that was super, super weird. Like, it was like they appeared and then they were gone. So I feel like my reality is layering. So that's how I described it. There's like a layering of what was and what is and what will be. Kind of like a thing going on. So another thought is, in natural reality, a seed grows in time. It has all the information, but it takes time to grow. Say, example, an oak tree, all the information is in the seed, but the seed has to be planted, and then that actually has to grow through the fourth dimension, which is time. So third dimension is our reality, 3D, solid, everything that matters. But the fourth dimension, which is time, is what it takes for these things to grow. Okay. Now, I'm listening to a lot of quantum physics, and in quantum, there is an abundance of everything all the time. It is just a matter of framing the time. So the time frame. People say that there's a depletion of, say, natural resources in some area, oil example. But in time, there actually won't be, because everything is always growing naturally. So, in fact, we can never deplete what grows in abundance naturally. There is such a thing as extinction of life. And my example is like unicorns, the black rhinoceros recently, and so on. But the resources that we can make energy from, gas, oil, coal, the sun, things like this, they can never actually become extinct. Okay. Now, other things. Putin is half Norse blood and half Mongolian blood. He could have mixed with the West just fine. He can also mix with the East, and the East recognize his Mongolian blood, and they are bonding with him. So there is a big, big divide coming in right now, and the East and the West are really getting into a big division, and the reason is because I don't know how to do it, so I'm just going to do it like this. Like this. Can you read that? Is that coming in? Do you see now? I don't know if that worked. Maybe. Sorry if it didn't work. I'm going to try again. Do it like this. And get that clear. So, as you can see what that lettering, 3 letters is, I'm going to call it the AIC. So, this organization is trying to cause a civil war in America and World War III. And they're doing it. They're everywhere. There are so many of those agents. It is beyond belief. And they think that they're superior to everything. And they think that they are, I don't know what they think they're doing. But they think that they are doing their job. So, like in Afghanistan, remember Julian Assange and how he showed what is going on in real life. Now, remember the footage of how all those reporters died in Afghanistan. It was just released again. Have a look for it on the internet. And pay attention. And while you're paying attention to that, there's a lot of YouTube channels that are sort of, like really, and, they talk and they have interviews and they do this and that. And you will find that majority of them served in this, in one war or another. put it that way. Now, so they don't literally care about any country. They have their own agenda, so it doesn't matter to them if, say like they might be naturally Lebanese blood. They're not really going to care if Lebanon gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? They're not here for the benefit or the abundance of humanity. They're here for the other reason. That's like the Georgia Guidestones, where we have to keep humanity down to a certain, and they're sort of like the team that's kind of like keeps on culling. Now, I was listening to this other thing and they were talking about something completely else, but I transcribed those words. My heart was able to understand about the well-being and the well. Now, tears are the lake of life. Life regenerates in the pool of tears, the upwelling of tears. Things come to the surface, the building blocks of life. The still waters run deep, dense with nutrients for life. That is just something that I feel that we all should realize. And while we're there realizing about this amazing stuff, whether you're feeling lonely or you're going through a really difficult time in some way, which seems like quite a few people, please think of abundance. So if you're thinking of a natural abundance, it has to manifest in time. So anything that's alive, thinking of food, water, children, a lover, anything that is alive, a dog, a cat, a bird, a plant. But abundance also is an energetic form, and it can come in minerals, gold, diamonds, gas, dirt, very other sources. And if you're looking for, I'm a little bit struggling to, if you're feeling that you are lacking something energetically, perhaps, let's just say, companionship. Think of companionship as an energy, and imagine having the companion in the energetic realm, like the spiritual realm, remembering that we're not only just in this physical body, we are temporarily residing in this body through this physical form, and then our body becomes a part of the earth, but our spirit becomes a part of the spiritual realm, which is the fifth dimension, the dimension out of time. And our spirit is everlasting, so we always must remember that we don't just have a small amount of time in this physical reality. We do have eternity, but not all of eternity is in physical reality. We can interact. But I want you to concentrate on asking questions to the universe. Remember how I described things. Example, you are going along this path and you've been in your marriage for 15 years and that's what the story is, and la-da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden your partner is like, no. And that's a block. And it's no use getting stuck standing here at this block. Okay, I'm trying to explain. We've got another moon in Capricorn coming, and I want us to be able to get to our plateau. So the block is here. We can't go forward anymore in this direction. So we're going to have to go either back, or we're going to have to turn to what is right, or we're going to have to go to what is left. Now, sometimes what is left is gone, and it's nothing but another block. But believe it, you will never be fully blocked, even above, okay? You'll never be fully locked in. There's always a way. The universe always opens ways for us, but it's up to us. We've got to inform the universe for the motion to happen. So information, right, is the motion. Question, how good can life really get for me? Question, how does it feel to live my life in love, with respect, cared for, considered, cherished? Ask those questions to the universe and let the universe show you the answer. Now, we never ask the universe things like, why did this happen to me? Why anything about anything bad that happened to you, because it's just going to give you another experience in it. You know, if you're like, oh, I don't understand it, look, I'm not berating you. I've lived it, and I'm telling you, it's not the way to go. And we've got Neptune at the 29th, the anaretic degree. That's the strongest point, really driving home the point in Pisces. So the Pisces is our dreams and our imagination, and it's faith. Faith is a great power, real strong, stronger than belief. Sagittarius, belief, Pisces, faith. And at that anaretic degree, 29th degree, before the 30th degree and the 0 point of going into the zodiacal house of Aries, Neptune is stationing retrograde and pointing back, and then it's going to go back through the house of Pisces for a little while to another degree. I have to look it up for you guys. I will. And then when it gets to that degree that it's at, it will station direct, and then it will come all the way back through again. I'm not sure how many retrogrades it's done, but usually it does three per house, and so does every other one. Every other star, I'm talking about Jupiter, and I think Jupiter actually is in a conjunction with the Sun at this time of no moon, which means Moon, Sun, and Jupiter are together in the zodiacal house of Cancer. If I'm correct, I might be wrong on that. So I've just got to check everything out properly. I haven't looked at the astrology yet. Now, we've got this time, this opportunity, and I hope everything's going really well for everyone. And if it's not, those are the tips that I have. And we're coming up to the new moon, which is concentrate, balsamic moon. So look at what is balsamic. Balsamic is reducing. So everything comes down to the real essence, the thickness, the guts of everything. Okay, now much love. I love you all very much, and we're going to get through this. Okay, so we're all going to make it through. And the other thing is, keep faith in the knowing. The devil uses hope, our creator uses knowing. Keep faith in the knowing, and create systems, not goals. Look back on my last video where I've got the hat on, and you'll see the one about how we create systems. Okay, I love you so much. Look at the blue sky out there. This is dusk. twilight, actually. It's the blue hour. We're going to make it, okay, everyone? It's going to be okay. And I'm sending out much, much love to you all. And just ask the question about how would it feel to have a companion that, that respected me, that cared for me, that considers and cherishes me. Ask the right questions, my darlings, and the universe will pop it right in front of you for you to have the experience, okay? Ka kite, much love to you, ka kite.